Father John Correa, a priest for 54 years in the archdiocese of Mombasa. I was born in Nairobi in 1941. And I remember going to Mass every day to serve Mass, and then eventually I finished high school in St. Teresa's Boys' School in Eastleigh. I think from my background and from the priests I was involved in, they saw something in me and they started asking me whether I thought about the vocation to the priesthood. I didn't have a clue at all about these things. Eventually, I was guided to make a decision. My former parish priest in Nairobi became the Bishop of Mombasa, Bishop Eugene Butler, the first Bishop of Mombasa. And the Bishop was happy because he knew me and the family and my background. And then he says, wait until I find a place for you in Rome. I got a place in Rome and I started my formation in the seminary and also the academic part. I did 3 years of philosophy in the university. I got a licentiate, and then later on 4 years of theology. So when I came here, I started making arrangements with my bishop, Bishop Eugene Butler, to ordain me. And therefore, I was ordained on the 22nd of December, 1968. My first appointment was Giriama. It was a short appointment. The bishops just said, brush up your Kiswahili, and then we'll give you a more stable appointment. So the next appointment was in Mgange Nyika. But at the same time, that did not last very long. There was a desperate need that I eventually had to go to Malindi. And I worked there in Malindi for 2 years, right up to 1972. Then I was transferred to Voi, where I spent 13 years in the parish. And in the meantime, Bishop Nicodemus Kirima became the Bishop of Mombasa, my second bishop. So he sent me for studies. The University of Leuven in Belgium, a famous university. I specialized in liturgy and the sacraments. I got a master's degree there, and then I came back to the diocese. Bishop Kirima said, we would like you to go to the seminary, St. Thomas Aquinas Seminary, and start teaching there. And I did a 6-year contract in the seminary. Then I came back to the diocese. And again, the bishop asked me, where would you like to go? He gave me 3 choices. I chose to go to Mwatate. And I worked there for 2 years. And then I got another appointment. I eventually landed in Ramisi, and I stayed there for 8 years. And eventually he appointed me to Luanga Communications. Soon after that, the third bishop was now Bishop John Jenga. And it was also the centenary year of the Catholic Church in Kenya. So I had a role to play there in organizing daily liturgies for a period of 1 week. And I gained a lot of experience through the help of other priests and lay people. And after that, Bishop John Jenga was coming to the end of his tenure. And then we have a new bishop by the name of Bishop Boniface Lele. He became my fourth bishop until he got sick and had to retire. So the last bishop whom I'm now with is Archbishop Martin Kivuva Musonde. And since I worked in the cathedral from the time Bishop Lele appointed me, and I was getting on in age, and therefore I knew that I had to hand over to somebody else. In June 2021, I moved out and the bishop asked me to come and stay here at Nyali to assist him in small tasks, but mainly to take over the bookshop so that it may become a diocesan institution. He also asked me to look after the archives so that it is a source of future reference as far as historical records are concerned. Additionally, the bishop said from a long distance, now and then look after the brothers of Christ, of Jesus the Good Shepherd. So now and then I am at their mother house to give them talks, formation, and to help them in all that they can do. So, in short, that is the journey in a nutshell of my journey of the priesthood from the time of ordination to the present day. I would say one becomes a priest in order to serve the people. To a large extent, I'm happy because of the way I served and to give myself to the people walking down, up and down the hills over there. And they were happy that a priest had come to visit them. So after those 50 years, I think in many places I see that there has been a change. Sometimes the change is slow from one generation to another, but there is change. And talking to the missionaries who came back after many years, who were working here in Mombasa, they were amazed at what has happened to the small places they opened, small outstations which are now fully fledged parishes. So that is a big plus for our first bishop and the successors until the present time, where Bishop Martin Kivuva has opened so many new parishes, bringing the church closer to the people. And I think that is a very important aspect of planting the seed and evangelization of peoples who had never heard about Christ. So basically, I think that deep down in my heart and soul, I am a happy person and I've not made a mistake to become a priest. But I think that was the greatest gift that God has given me. And as long as I'm alive, I'll continue to serve, as I'm still doing so on Sundays in a parish, and at times whenever I'm needed here and there.